Well, hello there everybody and welcome back to New Italy. And when I say New Italy, I'm talking about a massive, massive country. Look at this, guys. All of the Axis owns this area. Now, as you can see, we have a tremendous amount of naval battles here, a really huge amount. There's just been so much fighting in the Mediterranean between us, the French, the British, but now the war with the French is finally over. There are no French left. That is to say, the French that do exist are now under our boot heel, and there's nothing that they can do about it. So we're going to go ahead, guys. We're going to zoom in here and essentially take a look at what we can do, and I'm really not sure. I'm thinking that maybe right now, this might be a good time to go ahead and try to convince some South American countries to join the cause of the Axis. Unfortunately, Brazil, it looks like more or less they have a lot of support from the United States. In fact, their independence is guaranteed by the United States, so that could actually cause more problems than it would solve in this case. Belgium, incredibly, they still hold parts here in Africa, and we still have to continue fighting the British. So we're going to continue hitting the British with everything we have, of course. I'm going to keep attacking here in the south and just trying to dislodge them as much as possible. We've actually done a great job at holding the line here, and I think at some point we want to set a defensive line here, guess close to Alexandria, as close to Alexandria as possible. And of course, our friends, I guess you could say they're our friends, the Turks are taking on the British as well, which is really, really awesome. So one thing I think we can probably try to do, even though this sounds extremely complex, is we're going to take Giovanni Messi, and we're going to go ahead and put him over here by Dunkirk, and try and see if maybe, just maybe, we can do some sort of land invasion on the British. I doubt it's actually possible, but you know what? It is always worth a try. So we're going to go ahead and try to get some oil, first of all. And once we send these guys over here, and I also want to go into nationalist Spain. Now, we're already trying to convince the Portuguese to join us, but perhaps we could try to convince the nationalist Spanish to join us. Unfortunately, it looks like party popularity, it's pretty much as high as it can get, so I don't even know how to get them to join us at all, except for improving relations. It's going to be up to the Germans, who unfortunately are the leaders of our current faction. Alright. Also wouldn't be a bad idea to get some of our Air Force over here. Now, we don't necessarily have to attack, but it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea either. We just unlocked dive bombing. I've really wanted to unlock that. That's going to help our ground attack significantly. And now we're going to get some direct ground support. It's very hard to find better stuff than that. Let's go ahead and get the maintenance company. Only 26 days to research that. That is a bargain no matter how you look at it. Maybe it's an engineer company as well. Why not? Got some resistance to occupation once again in the Normandy area, but nothing is happening there at all. It's pretty much just, I think, a false flag, basically. Turkey has Bucharest. Now, that is hilarious. Okay, guys, we got our submarine workshops, and we've already added a submarine factory, but I'm actually going to add another submarine factory. I think it's probably time to do that. And the more, the merrier. So let's go ahead. Let's grab this, and... Yep, SS2. It's going to take a while to get this dockyard up and running, but eventually it will occur. Right now we're just waiting for our infantry to get into place. The assassination of Leon Trotsky. Wow. So apparently Stalin did manage to kill Leon Trotsky, as happened in history, and that's unfortunate for them. We got our Italian highways, and now I'm going to look at a new national focus. So prospecting for oil would be awesome, but I want to see what else we can do here. Befriending Portugal I really wanted to do, but we couldn't get the Spanish-Italian alliance because for whatever reason we weren't able to send expeditionary forces to Spain during the Spanish Civil War. So then again, escort effort, this will probably improve the actual ability for us to get our escorts through, and that's probably a good idea. We haven't even begun to research Mare Nostrum, which we certainly should have, especially if we're trying to get a naval superpower of sorts. So I think I'm going to go ahead and actually do Mare Nostrum. Improve our shipping a little bit here. And we might need to go ahead and reorder these guys. Oh, there we go. How the hell y'all take it so long? Let's actually see what Germany does. So far we're on the border with the Soviets, or I should say the Germans are, but no war has begun at this point. And I'm not even sure if I want to be the one to invade England, because I don't think it's going to work, first of all. And second of all, I would rather be prepared in case the actual Soviets start a war here with us and the German Reich. We don't know, but so far, we also are doing very, very well in Italy. So what I might do here, if these guys are not going to comply, it looks like some of them are, is I might go ahead and grab this army and try to get them into Africa. Large ships on low strength. Tell me something else I don't know. Come on now. Okay, let's try and get some of our guys over here. Now we have to find a port. As many as can actually arrive here. That's what we're going to try to do. I really want to send as many guys here as possible. And I'll go ahead and actually create a new army. I really don't mind that one bit. Just to be able to take the rest of this territory from the enemy. It looks like the South Africans, this is incredible. The South Africans are actually helping the British to beat us. And, you know, I mean, if you look back in history, South Africa and England are not exactly the best of friends. So this is definitely troubling, and we want to try to keep as much of this territory as possible, especially since right now we don't really have much of a front to fight on. I will accept the volunteer request from the Japanese, because they seem to like to land right there in our territory, which I really like too. And I would love to get the Portuguese on our side. Of course, then getting colonial support from several countries. Very, very helpful stuff here. Let's get that field hospital. It's about time our guys get some rest. Let's see how they're doing getting over here. Get to Tobruk. Why the hell are you coming back? Oh my god. Alright, so here's what I'm going to try. Hopefully if I select them all at once, they will actually follow this order. We're essentially sending Giovanni Messi's army all the way down here to take on the British. Okay, there we go. It looks like they might be finally listening to orders getting out in Benghazi, Libya. We need the entire army, not just a few of them. Stay here, you fools. Stay here. Okay, guys, we're going to select all at this point, and I am going to try and create a front line. I don't expect them to come through the desert, but for those of you that don't remember, Lawrence of Arabia, during World War I, the great British conqueror of the Turks, actually attacked through the desert. So it's not something that I'm totally putting past the enemy here. But for now, I think we're going to have to focus on the more important regions. And in fact, we can take some of these units and go ahead and start cutting through the desert just to make sure that they don't. Awesome! The 6 divisions that Japan sent us have arrived in Somaliland, and they're going to be hitting the enemy from the south. Very, very helpful for sure. We got Mare Nostrum completed, and I'm going to try to cut off these docks right here. And let's get another national focus. This time we could prospect for oil, especially since we might lose that northern African territory very, very soon if this war doesn't go the way we planned it to go. Let's take a look over here. Okay, it looks like our army is in Africa, and in fact, Greece is essentially totally left to its own devices, I guess you could say, guys. Let's try to get as many of these resources as possible. Venezuela, por favor. And actually, we can buy some from the Turks. Why didn't I already think of that? So far, our future looks bright, my friends. Although the one issue is, of course, not being able to attack the United Kingdom. I don't really feel like I want to try, and I don't think the Germans feel like they want to try either. In fact, if you look over here, they are basically boosting up their eastern front against the possible Soviet war, and I don't blame them one bit, because obviously the Soviets are probably getting ready for an attack themselves, and we want to be prepared for that. Right now, the best way to be prepared for that is to try to take as much enemy territory as possible. Now, this I don't like. France is pushing through, or what remains of France. Of course, we took their main... well, most of their country, I should say. So it's probably a good idea to go ahead. Can't really reorder our troops. Well, I guess we're going to have to take Ubaldi Sodi's army, or Sodu, excuse me, and we're going to have to try and stop this attack. It's going to suck. We basically have no units on the mainland. I am going to try and build more and more infantry units, but we have only 1.33 million. Now, that sounds like a lot, but honestly, in terms of Hearts of Iron 4, that's really not very much. It looks like Venezuela wants to actually send us volunteers. That is awesome. But let's see if we can get our troops to actually disembark here. If not, I'm going to take a few of these units and go for a independent attack. But we already see the enemy hitting us here, so we've got to be very, very careful. I will go ahead and assist here with these troops too. Let's definitely accept the Venezuelan volunteers. And look at that. Wait a minute. They have a new president. I want to see this. I want to see your new president. So, the fascists have won. Eleazar Lopez Contreras. Maybe we have some Venezuelan subscribers. That would actually be really, really cool. I don't expect it to be the case, though. And maybe that guy's a real person. A lot of the times in Hearts of Iron 4, they are actually the real people. So I wouldn't put it past this particular situation. So far, though, it looks like all we have to do is wait for something to occur. I'm going to start atomic research really early. I know we have to wait 420 days, more than a year, but we are going to be ahead of atomic research, and maybe then we could put demands to the rest of the world. If only nukes in this game were much more useful than they are right now. Also, if you guys take a look here, we've got a beautiful front line against the British, and we could start pushing here and attacking. It looks like the war has moved almost entirely into Africa, and let's just take a look at the casualties here. The German Reich has lost 389,000 men. We've lost 344,000 men. A lot of our allies, a few thousand on their side. And let's take a look over here. 95,000 on the United Kingdom, 288,000 in Poland. And, of course, now we're part of the German-Polish War. And 158,000 in France. Overall, the Allies are still taking some pretty nasty hits, but this is nowhere near as bloody as actual World War II. So hopefully this will be a war that we can settle with some diplomacy and agree to disagree very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Have an awesome, awesome day. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video.